Demolition in Yitzhar. Use in prison. And Bergson Group still unrecognized. Today's the 16th of Sivan, 5768, June 19th, 2008. I'm Yoni Kapinski, and you're watching Arutz Sheva, Israel National News. And we'll begin with today's headlines. The Nachal Oz, Sufa, and Karni crossings were open for humanitarian aid by Israel this morning as part of the truce with Hamas. The Marxist DFLP has brought out reservations they have to the truce with Israel because Israel didn't open the crossings before the ceasefire took effect. In other news, it has been reported by the French news agency Le Monde that countries besides the US have confirmed Syria built a nuclear reactor in Al-Kabir, and this information has been turned over to the IAEA. Prime Minister Ehud Olmert was quoted in Le Figaro saying indirect talks with Syria are only a matter of time. Syria is demanding Israel agree to surrender the entire Golan before negotiations begin. The last round of negotiations broke down because of this demand. Deputy Defense Minister Matan Vilnai of Labor told the Knesset he intends to destroy 6 homes in Har Bracha. MK Uri Ariel responded the homes were built 10 years ago and asked why the government ignores illegal Arab construction. This morning, the army and police acted to destroy 2 structures in the town of Yitzhar, with Jewish residents resisting. Soon afterwards, Arabs began assaulting police. INNTV reports.
Today at dawn, a shack was demolished, and there was an attempt to destroy a caravan on the Shaked farm.
This structure, before it was demolished, was supposed to be used by Gilad and Naomi, who will be married in 10 days. At morning, a large contingent of security forces came to Yitzhar to destroy the caravan. The local residents came to resist, and a violent altercation developed.
My friend was pushed into a pole. They practically beat him up with batons. He tried to defend himself, but he was very badly beaten. They defined him as a target and started running after him. So we came to help, until a few policemen pointed at me and started running after me. They caught me and hit me with a baton in my chest, ribs, stomach, and back. I continued running until finally they said it's not him at all, and they let me go. People here were beaten badly.
The residents reported terrible violence from police. Rabbi David Dudkevich was beaten as well when he tried to help Naomi, the owner of the caravan.
They came with no demolition order. Turns out that the police, who are supposed to uphold the law, are breaking the law. They came unprepared, with no medics. They were injured and they just left them in the field.
And while the police were involved in breaking down the caravan, Arabs gathered at the Yitzhar intersection and stoned Jewish cars, among them the car of Rabbi Eliakim Levanon, Rabbi of Elon Moreh. In terms of the caravan, the police succeeded to ruin it completely, but the residents promised to rebuild it tonight.
It is sad that today, when compromises are reached with the Hamas and the Hezbollah, they turn all their strength against the Jews and the residents here. They ruin the caravan that was to be used by a couple that was to be married next week. I'm ashamed of the state of Israel.
Shalom to Michal ben Avraham.
Shalom.
So you were at the police station in Ariel. Your son was arrested this morning in Yitzhar.
That's true. I just came to the police station in Ariel to find out if my 15-year-old son is here because we're doing the events in Yitzhar. There were witnesses seeing him being arrested by the police. And since I didn't hear from him since 8:30 this morning, I came to the police station to find out if indeed he is here. And also I understood that he was injured by blows or that he was beaten, so I was very worried. I came here to find out what's going on with him.
Why was he arrested?
Well, first of all, I wasn't at the place when he was arrested, but from what I understand, he tried to help his friends and other people of Yitzhar to avoid the destruction, the complete destruction of a new caravan of a young couple that's going to get married next week. And the police came to destroy by order of court order came to destroy the caravan. They tried to avoid it, and they came into clashes with the police.
What can you tell us about the events this morning and the feeling in Yitzhar today?
Well, first of all, it really didn't start this morning. It started yesterday evening, yesterday afternoon, when the police came to a neighbor settlement in Har Bracha and came to destroy a container, overseas container, which is supposed to be an illegal building. And from then on, the clashes with the population in our area continue. And so this morning was just a continuation of the events that started actually yesterday. This morning the police came up to Yitzhar with the court order, as I said, to destroy a brand new caravan of a young couple that's going to get married next week. And as also the man and also the woman, the bride, are children of Yitzhar, all the youngsters feel very much involved into this type of action, and they feel that they have to protect their friend's new home, and especially because it's very difficult to understand why in those days when we are constantly being attacked on the roads and when we are living under all different kind of difficult conditions, why at this time the Israeli police comes to destroy a caravan of a young couple that's going to get married next week.
Michal Ben Avraham, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.
During the Holocaust, one of the few groups that took any effective action to rescue Jews was the Bergson group, led by Hillel Kook, also known as Peter Bergson. So, why have they been omitted from the Holocaust Museum? A group of Israeli leaders is now working to rectify that situation.
Hillel Kook was sent by Jabotinsky in 1940, along with several colleagues of his from the Irgun, from Palestine and from Europe, to the United States, initially to help bolster one of Jabotinsky's campaigns, which was to bring support for the establishment of a Jewish army.
During the Holocaust, Hillel Kook and the Bergson Group sponsored more than 200 full-page newspaper ads all around the United States in order to inform the public about what was happening to the Jews in Europe. This morning, we attempted to deliver a petition to Yad Vashem, asking Yad Vashem to add material to their exhibit about the Bergson Group. When we first came to deliver the petition, to our surprise and disappointment, members of the staff attempted to prevent us from simply delivering the document.
When the first official news of the massacre came out, they immediately, in terms of the priorities, dropped everything else, and they devoted all of the issue of rescue.
We explained why we felt it was important for the Bergson Group to be included in Yad Vashem. We emphasized the fact that the Bergson Group's protests led to changes in American refugee policy late in the war, which led significantly to the rescue of more than 200,000 Jews.
They engaged from 1942 until 1945 in a very massive public relations campaign whose purpose was to bring the news of the Holocaust into the living room, into the newspaper, to the hearts and minds of the American public, and to bring them to put pressure on the public officials and the leadership of the country.
This morning, Iran announced it was ready to negotiate over a new package of economic incentives to curb its nuclear development. On Wednesday, a U.S. Senate panel approved legislation strengthening U.S. sanctions on Iran. The Senate Finance Committee cleared the bill to expand trade and financial sanctions. 19 approved and 2 were against. The House of Representatives passed similar legislation last year. The measure would strengthen existing U.S. sanctions by tightening the trade ban on goods to and from Iran. It would no longer allow the import of Iranian carpets, caviar, and nuts to the United States, among other goods. The latest poll regarding the opinion of Arabs occupying regions of Yesha has revealed 41% favor suicide bombings. According to a new poll carried out by the Palestinian Center for Public Opinion, the poll also revealed that 60% back a two-state solution, but an overwhelming 89.8% favor allowing more than 5 million foreign Arabs to immigrate to Israel, ending Israel's existence as a Jewish state. Concerning the deployment of a multinational force in Gaza, 60% opposed the idea. A vast majority continue to place arch-terrorist Marwan Barghouti as the most favored candidate to head the Palestinian Authority. That wraps up today's newscast. Join us again on Sunday for another news edition. Until then, Shabbat Shalom from all of us here at Arutz Sheva, Israel National News.